Buddy. Here we go. Yeah, you good. You going live. Uh-huh. Yeah, buddy. We back for another one. It's the homie, Moss Money. And of course, my right-hand man, Headbanger. What's up, Steve-O? Hey, Steve, man, I'm feeling a little good right now. Every week. Absolutely, man. I got that feeling. Ah! The Eagles are 3-0, buddy. What's up with that, man? Who would have saw that thing coming?
Over there clicking your heels, huh?
Getting kind of happy, huh? For real though, I mean, who would have saw that the Eagles would have been 3-0 at this point in time right now?
I don't think none of us would have.
Yeah, which is pretty.
I honestly did. So I'm gonna keep it real. I didn't see him being 3-0.
Word, and not even that. That I in my top 10 bold predictions, I had them going 1-5. Like, what juice was you sipping on that day?
I mean, it just was. There was a lot of unknowns at that time, so I don't think that it was a
True.
pretty bad then because we wasn't sure what we had in our quarterback. We wasn't sure what we had as a coach, so that plays a lot in projecting what a schedule is going to be like.
No,
What a record is going to be like. What a lot of unknowns. Like you really can't tell because we didn't know. We didn't see Carson Wentz play during the preseason, but for 36.
yeah, not at all. Yeah, I was about to say he had like 30 snaps. Yeah, it's pretty crazy how things kind of turned around in that situation. You know, going from we're looking at Sam, you know, just kind of being competitive in the division, and now we're leading the division in NFC East. And I know a lot of people. So it's only 3 games. You guys are christening Carson Wentz as the savior already, and the Messiah, and all this other stuff that Dallas fans like to say. But it doesn't change the fact that we are 3-0. Right now, we look like we're the cream of the crop, and and it's exciting. Every week for the last 3 weeks have been good weeks, just because the Eagles win. That's what the Eagles mean to the city. That's what Eagles football does to people in their daily lives. Is that when you go into the week where the Eagles win, and a free coffee, by the way, for my coffee drinkers.
Your attitude changed.
Absolutely. Everything. Your boss can tell you to do 100 things, and you're like, all right, you know what? The Eagles are 3-0 right now, so I'm going to take this one on the chin.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When the Eagles lose, you have a down attitude.
Right.
The attitude is not really good that rest of that Sunday. It doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't matter how many points you score on fantasy. It's just like that's just the end of the day.
Fantasy is just cream of the crop, man. Like, to be honest with you, if your fantasy team win and the Eagles win, I mean, you starting off the week pretty nice.
Oh yeah, you can walk around, smiling.
Right.
On Monday, when you got to start work on a Monday, and most people hate getting up on Monday to start work.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna go through our little agenda like we usually do, and as always, even though we got that little Eagles snippet in, we're going to continue on our Colin Kaepernick conversation, and like always, keeping that conversation fresh, keeping it alive, just like Brother Cap is doing himself. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, Steve. I'm gonna tell you what I did to be a part of the solution. And what I did was there was a old friend of mine who actually started a group on Facebook. His name is Henry. I want to pronounce his name is Reach, and I think it's Wretch, Henry Wretch, I actually believe. And he started a focus group. He's actually from mixed descent. I believe his mom was white and his dad was black. So he kind of sees things from both sides of the fence. And he started a focus group on Facebook called the Gray Zone. Obviously, meaning gray, black, and white mix, that in between. So in this focus group on Facebook, we have law enforcement, we have community activists, we have African Americans, we have Caucasians, we have all these folks in this group having open dialogue about the issues that are impacting our society today. And there has been pretty good content. They're talking about, I actually brung up, instead of doing this Facebook Live, why don't we get more, in dialect and have a focus group, have a meeting, sit down. It's always nice to meet people that you talk to. You can't really put it, I mean, in Facebook, obviously, you can put a face to the person writing, but to me, it's not as personable as I would like. And it's, I think it's just a good step. I don't know where it's going to go. I know there was another shooting over the weekend or the last couple days, I believe. I know that I'm trying to think. I didn't even, you know what, Steve? I didn't even want to look into it because I saw some of the video. I saw they gunned this man down. Even though the guy, I don't know why the guy pulled out. Did you see it? I'm not sure if you saw it. The guy acted like he pulled out a gun and pointed at the officers. Did you see that one or no?
No, where was it at?
I gotta look more into it because
I think it was one in like California somewhere.
yeah, I'm just tired of reading it. I'm tired of hearing the same thing.
It actually was one in our own city a few days ago.
Right.
Where the police killed a guy, but they said that 9 officers shot 109 times.
Oh my God.
What? The suspect, I think he was only hit 5 times, but in this situation, I don't feel that it was too much of a bad thing to me because I'm going to be honest, anytime you do anything to kids,
right, definitely.
I'm not really on your side too much because he stabbed his 8-year-old son. He tried to choke his daughter. He stabbed another teenage kid that I think was about 14. Then he went around a corner to another home and stabbed like an elderly lady.
Right.
And he knew, of course they knew. And then when he came outside with the police, they said that he had like his hands in his pocket. And, they asked him, to show his hands, and he abruptly, pulled out the weapon that he was using to stab, the victims, and the police wasn't sure.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't think that it was okay to unload 109 shots.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's crazy.
In a community where there's, row homes and, just innocent people could have, gotten injured by that.
Right.
And, if, you're a trained officer, so there's no need to unload 109 shots on one person.
Right, and that's what goes back to what we were saying last show about how they maybe need to relook at the training and redevelop that whole program. So, the people that are officiated or who are hired and sworn in to protect and serve, have the right training to be able to do that efficiently and effectively, because obviously that's failing.
And to be honest, like I said, I always go back and forth with the police because I do believe there are some, that's really good professional cops, and I just
absolutely
ran into one actually last night. We were driving
Right.
The cop said he clocked him at 108.
Wow.
So, and the speed limit was 80, but he got clocked at 108. So, he was very professional. He came to the, window, and me, I'm sitting in the back, and I immediately just put my hands on my knees.
Right.
So you can see him. I don't want you to feel like I'm going through anything. So my first instinct was to put my hands on my knees. So you can see my hands at all times. And, the cop, like I said, he was very professional. He explained, what was going on. Then, he asked if the guy that was driving, his license was expired.
Right.
So, he let him know that, your license is expired. Usually we'll take care of this. But in the meantime, because it was a rental agreement and it wasn't in his name, and
all these underlying factors.
right, of course, with his license being expired, he asked, was there another person in the car with a license? I gave him mine.
Right.
But, being as though with a couple red flags, he said, do you guys mind stepping out so I can search the vehicle?
Right.
There was another police officer there as well that pulled up, his partner.
Mm-hmm.
He said both of the guys were professional, and he explained to us, he said, listen, I'm not singling you guys out, but because, there's different things that we look at in, like, potential drug trafficking and,
Right.
just anything.
So
we just want to follow the protocol.
Right. And so,
that's fine. So that, there's no reason for us not to get out because it's not hot. And he said, I understand. He said, just last night, I pulled the car over and they were transporting meth. He said, I found meth in the car.
wow.
So, I have no problem. You search what you got to search. And he was real nice. He said, I thank you guys, nothing was in the car. And then he just talked to us. He was like, I just want to let you know again, I'm not singling you guys out. I said, we got to do a job. We got to do a job. So
Right. And it's crazy how sensitive it's crazy how sensitive they got to be, because of what the issues that are going on right now. So, I mean, that's an awesome, and great story about a good experience, that, hopefully somebody takes, hopefully a police officer and the person being pulled over takes heed. All it takes is communication and being open and being respectful. As long as your approach.
And that's the key. I think the approach, both
exactly.
approaches were,
Right.
professional, and no one was rude, no one got disrespectful to anyone. And even his partner, when we were standing outside and he was searching the car, and like I said, he probably searched the car for maybe 3 minutes because it was nothing in the car, period. And the guy that we were standing outside with, he was talking. He wasn't just overly aggressive, like he didn't have his gun out, his hand wasn't on his gun ready. I'm gonna tell you where his hand was.
Right. It didn't create any type of nervous energy.
Right. It was near his taser, not even his gun. He had his flashlight out, and he had his hand near his taser, and that was perfectly fine because right then and there it showed that, okay, I'm not ready to kill you, but if there is any, type of altercation or anything that's abrupt, maybe he's going to reach for his taser first.
Yeah, and not even he's got to protect himself, and that's obviously obvious, because not every person that you pull over, I mean, saying that over again, you don't know who you're going to pull over. You don't know what they're capable of and what they're doing, so you have to protect yourself at all costs. And I definitely agree with that.
And that's scary at times, like you said, because you never know who you're going to encounter. You don't know nothing about this person you're pulling over at all.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely, you're absolutely right. So, great, like I said, great story, Steve-O. And, hopefully this talk continues and we will continue to talk. Hopefully the focus group that I joined does meet up and there is some treadway on that moving forward. But
Right.
you know, I just want to add before we start moving on is that you know when are we going to stop talking about the bad things and start talking about the great things? You know, for you know my children, you know your children, you know everybody's children needs these stories because we're leaving behind hopefully a blueprint for them to follow, and if that blueprint is still on you know racial issues and injustice and social obstacles that we have to go through in our communities, you know, is it time to start teach? I mean, never mind. It is time to start teaching our children how to protect themselves, but is it in a violent way now? Because of you know they're going to be targeted just because of the color of their skin, just like back in you know 60, 70, 80 years, and you know we can keep going back and back.
Right.
So you know, it just changes the way, you know, it just changes the way you bring up your kids, and we need to be together and not segregated. So, and in closing, in that, you know, we'll keep it open. Hopefully, like I said, the things that I'm doing in the focus group for Facebook, you know, leads me in the right direction to be part of the solution and not a bystander.
Yeah, and like I said, I commend you for taking a step forward towards trying to make change in our community, and it got to start somewhere. Like I said, we can't look at it on a large scale because we're not going to make a difference on a large scale. But if everybody take a step in trying to make a difference in the community and the immediate people that they affect, then that's one thing that you can do. Like even with me working when I was working with juvenile delinquents a few
Right,
years ago,
right.
it's just sad to see some of their mindsets and outlooks on life
Yeah, it's
because
crazy.
they only look at it from what they're always around, and a lot of them was around a lot of negativity, and they couldn't trust the people that they felt as though was to be trusted as whether it was family or a close friend, anyone. And a lot of them was betrayed at a young age, but they were still trying to find that trust in that person that they can confide in. But everybody has let them down, and then the system is made for them to fail. Like in my eyes, the system
Right.
is set up for them to fail. Once you're in the system, you're programmed and you're being prepared for the big jail. So it's like a lot of them felt better in those facilities because they were able to have 3 meals a day, a snack. They had a warm place. They had a clean environment to lay their head, and they had hot water, running water. So a lot of things factored into that. But to me, where I think the system let them slip through the cracks is when you have kids that's in a community that's being involved in the same thing over and over.
Right,
They're
right.
being truant from school, or they're catching these petty cases, which is maybe little drug cases or stealing, but they don't have no other way to survive while they're out there. In their eyes, they don't have another way to survive. But you try to tell them different ways, but they're going to listen while they're in there, and they're going to take heed. But when the system, where I say let them slip through the cracks, is when they put them right back into that same environment where they were
Yeah.
getting in trouble.
And that's what we talked about before, man. That's the projects, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not even a project. You can't even,
Well, I mean that underlying thought process of you know what the projects
yeah.
actually mean. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
So
putting people in those compromising situations where it doesn't favor them.
yeah, yeah, and it's it's just the
Right.
now they resort back to doing exactly what they got in trouble for because they don't know no other way, or they're going back. They just came from a situation where there's staff or there's people that genuinely want to see them do good. And then you go home to your folks, and they don't care. Some of them don't care. They don't care if you come in the house. They don't care if you wash up. They don't care if you go to school. They just worried about what their next move is and can care less about some of the kids. So, you know, and now those same kids grow up to be, you know, adults and still going through the same cycle without getting no real treatment.
Right.
Why they're children in ways that, you know, you give them ways to cope, but I believe everything is repetitive. Like, you know, you get into a routine of things, and if you take somebody out of an environment and show them a different way somewhere else, then it can hopefully, you know, change for the better. But I mean, it's like I said, it's times you just look and it's like, man, the system is BS. And, you know, all you are, you know, a number. You're a number. So
Yeah.
that's all you're going to be. They see you as a number. They see you as money, ways to make money. And it's bad because there's no consequences for a lot of these kids that's incomes, you know, placements or juvenile facilities. There's no real consequences. So what's the deterrent for them not to do things again? What, you know, why won't they do anything again if they're only getting a smack on the wrist? Okay, well, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go rob this next person, or I'm gonna go try to steal this from the department store because I got into a good situation. My home is messed up, so even if I get caught, I'm going to a facility where I'm going to eat 3 days. I mean, 3 times a day. I'm going to be in a warm bed. I'm going to be able to shower. They provide me, you know, some type of clothing. So some of them have it better in those places than at home.
No, I hear you, Steve. You know what I mean, and I feel like you can keep going. So I wanted to keep it moving. I knew you wanted to get your point across, but you know, what I mean, I want to keep moving and not get too long winded. We'll keep the conversation alive as we always do, and we'll take the first 20 to 30 minutes of every show to make sure that we talk about these social and racial issues and things of ways that, you know, we can do it better. But as you did hear that music a little bit ago, let's talk about these Eagles, man. What's up? We 3-0 playoffs.
And look at this. Fletcher Copp was the.
I saw Fletch.
Yeah, NFC Defensive Player of the Month.
Right.
Carson Wentz was the NFC.
All bird game, baby.
So that's, I mean, those are 2 great achievements so far in this month of, in the month of September. We're now in October, but I mean, that's something to really look forward to and be excited and proud about.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it brings a smile to everybody's face every week. Like I said before, you know, free coffee and on the airways on the, you know, the radios and ESPNs and, you know, everybody's talking about the Eagles and Carson Wentz. I mean, the city is buzzing so much. It's like all we're talking about is beyond. You know, we hear people talking about NFC Championship, the Super Bowl, which I think is really far fetched. But if you think about it, our schedule is about to get tough, bro. So we have, you know, at Dallas, we have at New York, we have Atlanta home, at Seattle, home for Green Bay, and then at Cincy in the meat of our schedule. So with that being said, you know, if you look at that, man, I mean, we could easily go 2-4.
You said
At Dallas, at New York, home for Atlanta. At New York. At Seattle. Home for Green Bay.
The way that we're playing right now, and I'm gonna just go out on a limb. I'm not really worried about anybody, but in those next 3-4 games, but Seattle.
I was about to say, don't Atlanta.
They got the number one. They got the number one scoring offense.
Right,
We also have the top defense. We don't allow many points, so that's going to be a chess match.
right.
Like that's really going to be a chess match. So that one can go either way. But I mean, with Dallas and New York, I'm honestly not even really too much worried about either one of them.
Well, you got to worry about New York. New York's offense is still a real deal.
No, no. Well, New York.
New York,
They
what?
they have an offense that on paper that looks really good.
No, Steve.
But
Stop it.
It's not no because they dropped like even with New Orleans like
Right.
back to the last two games. New Orleans they didn't score offensive touchdown. Period.
Okay.
They didn't score on offense. They scored on defense to win that game. And then last week against
Washington.
the Redskins,
Right.
they were up, and then they couldn't score. They often stalled, so they have a lot of flaws.
Well, there was a lot of different things like.
They don't have a running game. They don't have no running.
No,
game.
they don't have a running game, but that doesn't hurt Manning. Manning can still sit back there and throw the ball with the options that he has. And if you think about that Washington game, bro, but if you think about that Washington game, I mean, there's a couple of things that bounced Washington's way, right? They got a long PI on Jackson, 1. 2, they went for a fake punt on like a 30-yard.
That's not a battle. So it was a pass interference. It didn't bounce their way. It was a pass.
What do you mean? It went Washington's. It went to Washington's favor. Like you have to acknowledge that.
Because it was a pass interference. That's the call.
Okay, but it's still a huge change in field position, bro. That was like a 60-yard change in field position. They were at the 1 instead of being on like their own 40. That's a huge play.
And it was a foul, so it should have been called.
Okay, I'm not saying it shouldn't have been called, but that's you act like that doesn't favor Washington. That's still a favorable matchup. And yes, did they exploit it? Absolutely, but that doesn't mean that it's not Washington's fault at all. But it still went their way.
I wouldn't say, but that's the type of team New York is, though. They play good for it.
That's the type of team New York is. That Deshaun Jackson got a PI call. Come on, stop it.
What you say?
I said that's the type of team that New York is because Deshaun Jackson got a long.
No, I'm not talking about the pass interference. I'm talking about New York is the type of team they score at times and then they stall.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's just how they are. They stall for a long time.
Well,
Just
I mean,
like and they can score in bunches at times, but they often they cannot run the ball. They cannot run the ball.
Right.
And when you're one dimensional in the NFL, at times it's easier to stop it. And that's what I'm saying. Jennings is out. You got Darkwa,
yeah,
running back. Marine is out.
Right.
And you got someone else. So their receivers are really good.
Yeah, the receivers are top notch, without a doubt.
But Eli Manning always makes mistakes in a red zone. Always. So that's what I'm trying to say. He threw 2 picks in the red zone last game. He always makes mistakes in the red zone. So
it's hard. I mean, as much as people hate Eli, he's got 2 rings. I like Eli. I don't think he makes. I think he's clutch. So I mean, I don't know. We'll talk more in depth about that when that game comes up. I mean, we also got to look at that. The Lane Johnson suspension, which is blooming, is going to be tough. The defense is playing well. Yeah, that's going to be a huge deal. And then Jalen Mills is a nice surprise. Even though he hasn't been, shut down, he's played well. What is he, a 6th, 7th round pick?
Yeah, 6th round pick.
Yeah, so.
And that's because it wasn't his talent. It was more his off-the-field issue.
Right.
But he's playing good. He's got really good safeties behind him. But he's also been picked on a lot and been exposed too. So I wouldn't say he's really playing good. He's just filling in because I know for sure when McKelvin is healthy, he's back out. But he's not. He's out of position a lot too, man. He's trailing a lot. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean he's probably
So
playing the trail technique with the safety covering over the top. So I mean, no, no, no.
I can't. I can't give you that one, buddy.
All right, solid, solid.
I cannot say he's playing the trail technique in a lot of those. But
Oh,
like I said, he's grown. He's going to go through his growing pains because he's a
oh
rookie.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
he's made some good, tackles too as well in the open field.
Right,
But
right.
you
No,
got to understand, he did go up against Antonio Brown.
oh
Last
yeah,
week
yeah, yeah.
too. So
That's what I said. Like I think the rookie did well. For the circumstances. So
he did mediocre. He looked at.
okay. So I want to give a shout out to a couple people on Facebook. I see Big John join. Shout out to LaSalle. I saw BP join. Shout out.
John Wick.
Yeah, man. Big John, what's up, bro? And then
Uh,
BP, my man Timmy Taylor, out from. Actually, I used to work with Tim back in Chase. I see Denise.
Timmy.
I see who else did I see? I think it kept going up because there were a couple people joining. But we do appreciate you dialing in and listening on
Yeah.
Facebook. So feel free to throw any comments or anything up there, and we'll definitely get back to you as the show continues.
Any questions y'all have, anything, input that you may have, feel free to comment on that.
Yeah, definitely, and I'll pause the show and definitely give you guys a shout out. So, but thanks for the support. Moving on, I got a couple questions for you, Steve.
Hold on. Before we move on,
Okay.
I just want to say, with the Eagles, it's really one of their best pickups this off season was Jim Schwartz, man.
Oh yeah.
He showed how valuable he is as a defensive coordinator, and I like the way that Doug Peterson is handling,
Right.
this side of the ball as well.
Right.
And he's just letting. I think he took a page out of just the old school Eagles. You let Jim Johnson, like Andy Reid did.
I was about to say, you took a page out of Andy.
Right. He let Jim Johnson run the defense and do what he needs to do, and that's the same thing that Doug Peterson is doing with Jim Schwartz. He's like, look, I know I got somebody that got my back. I'm going to let you run your defense and do what you got to do, and I'm going to, articulate my plays whereas though I can, win a time of possession and put points on the board. So shout out to Jim Schwartz.
Yeah, no, definitely, and the thing about it too, like you said, he brung back that Eagle style defense, attacking in your face.
Right.
Put your foot on their throat. Don't give him an inch. Don't let him breathe. And I love that about Jim Schwartz, and I love fiery guys. He was on the sideline pumping his fist when the game was over. I think it was like 36-3 or 30-3 or whatever it was, when it was 4th and 18, and they gave them nothing. And he was over there excited, pumping his fist, and you got to have that type of mentality when you play defense, and I love that about him.
Yeah.
So,
And he got all of his guys behind him.
yeah, they're all believing.
That shows a good coach.
They are all believing. So, a couple questions I got for you, Steve. So, questions like looking at the, about 3/4 of the season left, can the O-line stand up without Lane Johnson's? Can Ryan Matthews stay and finally get healthy and stay healthy? Can the D, stay as dominant, as they are? Will Nelson Aguilar keep kind of flashing here? Or who's going to emerge to be with Jordan Matthews as the 1-2 punch for the Eagles pass game? And then give me some of your early rewards so far, through the first 3 games. The defensive player so far, you think, and the offensive player, and obviously you already touched of who you think as the coach is.
It's kind of surprising though. Like I honestly thought that Brandon Graham had better games than Fletcher Cox in this this stretch of a month, but it just shows how valuable Fletcher Cox
Exactly.
is to allow so many people to flash. Like he hasn't had like the stats or whatever, but he's just disruptive at all times.
No, he is.
I mean, I understand why it was Fletcher Cox. Can a defense be as dominant? I don't see why not, because he got his kind of players like Nigel Bradham. I heard his name
Right.
the first four plays of the game last week, and
Mm-hmm.
that's against a high-flying offense. We forget to realize that the Steelers aren't a team that's not good. They were putting up points week in and week out.
Yeah, we completely shut them down. They didn't get
They
nothing.
made them look right. They made their offense look mediocre, except for Antonio Brown. He's going to get his.
Yeah, Brown's going to get his.
But it didn't seem like Antonio Brown had 140 yards.
Right.
It was one of the most quietest 140-yard games I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and your homie, man, Jenkins on them crossing patterns, man, he was all over that.
Listen, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, he is a baller.
He definitely showed up that game. He was up for that game, so I can't hate on that one.
He is a stud, man.
Yeah.
Trust and believe that.
I believe it.
And with the O-line, I mean, it's just going to have to, everybody's going to have to be committed and willing to pick up their slack and elevate their game to the next level, because you already know what you're missing. And the coaches got to realize, let's say, like when we play against the Giants, you're going to have to leave your back end sometimes or at tight end to help block, because you have two really high-level pass rushers in Pierre, Paul, and Werner.
Right.
Just looking at the team like
Runner's earning that money.
Yeah, it's the coaches is going to have to really strategically place the players and know when they need help in, because you want to keep Carson Wentz from taking
too many hits.
Shots as possible. Yeah. So that's going to be, I think, with Lane Johnson out, that's going to have I think it's going to have a big effect, because
huge.
Just shuffling the line always had some type of effect, but they do have a bye week, which is good. I mean, they did play without him in the preseason. But it is the preseason.
Right.
But it still showed that, okay, we can move some pieces around and still be effective. I mean, I'm not sure who they're going to put in at that left guard. I think they were talking about the rookie.
Yeah, it's like, I forget his name. It's like Wolakowski or something like that.
They're going to put him in. He's not a rookie either. He's a veteran.
Oh, he's a veteran? I thought he was a rookie.
He went to Penn State. He's a veteran.
Oh, okay.
He actually played for the Jags. He's a center and a guard. But if he's a good piece to plug in. So
right.
Put him in. I think that's good, because now you have two people, Jason Peters, and you have a veteran next to him, as well as next to Kelsey, where they're all used to playing in the NFL at NFL speed and seeing what the defense is going to do. So I like that move over the rookie, because now I don't have too much confidence in the rookie.
Right. Now I hear you, man. But so far, looking good. We're 3-0. I want to give another shout out to somebody on Facebook, the homie Brick, showing love. What's up, bro? I see you. Thanks for joining in. But yeah, we're looking good. We're looking actually beautiful. I mean, how can you not, love your situation at 3-0? A bye week, get healthy. I hate having a bye so early, but I can't be mad going back into it, seeing Detroit at Detroit, October 9th, hopefully getting another W. But before,
and one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I remember you said something about the running game and Ryan Matthews.
Right.
I don't like the way that Doug Peterson is utilizing Sproles in the running game. I like him in the screen as well. But Smallwood and Barner showed that if they need to carry the ball, they can. And
Smallwood definitely had 17 carries last game.
Yeah, that's pretty promising to see those two young guys, be able to pick up the slack. Because
absolutely.
Matthews was out after like the first two series or something. He didn't play much, but it just showed that Doug Peterson has confidence in a running back by committee, as he did over in Kansas City. So.
Yeah. No, definitely a great point there, Steve. We're bringing that up about the run game, because that was one of my predictions, because I knew coming into training camp that Smallwood was getting a lot of love in training camp, and everybody kept raving how they love this kid. I think he's from West Virginia. So and he showed something. He scared me that one time when he tried to slide and it kind of left his leg out there. He could have got a little bent up there. But I mean, he walked away and he showed that he could shoulder the load. And I think when we were watching the game, I said the comment that he reminds me of Buckhalter and how Buckhalter was kind of like slasher, but kind of like tough in between the tackles. So
He said that's his favorite player. That's why he wore that number 20.
you did say that it was his favorite player. So it's kind of funny that he does look like that, and hopefully he has the same impact that Buckhalter had when he started running kind of a little wild there in his little run with the Eagles. But like I said before, feeling good. I can't be mad at a 3-0 start. And
No way, no how.
ladies and gentlemen, we do have ourselves a quarterback in Carson Wentz. So that's definitely exciting thing to be about. Before we move into the games going on, I definitely want to give a shout out to the homie Nasir Yard and all those folks over in Fresh Philly Inc. Oh, was it Fresh Print Inc? PPI.
Fresh print.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought I'm just thinking Philly for some reason. I'm all Philly today, man. Ryan Howard, is finishing off his career. The Eagles are 3-0. Ben Simmons, even though he broke his ankle, Embiid is looking good. So, it's just kind of.
That's another tank season right there. I mean, just be honest. I mean, that's what's
Yeah,
going on.
now that hurts. They said he's out 3 months.
I mean, I don't really disagree with it because that's a top player. Why not? Now he's out 3 to 4 months. He could have helped them win at least 15 to 20 more games.
Yeah, next show we're going to do
I mean, you tank on that one right there.
I mean, but how much can they tank though, Steve? They're going to get. I mean, they're going to already get a top pick anyway. So it's just a matter of just starting to gel, right? It's starting to get this team going. I mean, we'll use the next show to really open up on the Sixers because I know that's your bread and butter, basketball. But we'll keep continue on with the football talk. And like I was saying before, check out Fresh Print Inc. I can't even say what is it. I'm
Come on.
Well, then tell me what it is. Fresh Print Inc. That's what I just said.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep saying Philly.
No, whatever, bro. Check him out.
Yeah.
20th Street out there in North Philly, man. Ask for the homie Nasir Yard.
22nd Street, man. Not 20th Street. 22nd Street.
All right, you got me, Steve. I'm a little out of it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck on football. That's all good, B.
It's all right, man. I'll let you live on this one, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
So let's get into these games. We're just going to go into the games. We're not going to talk about last week's record because I think everybody I know, even all the experts who put bets in, and you kind of compare and kind of see where they're talking about. Everybody took an L last week. Vegas cleaned up. I was 0-2 in my money bets, so it definitely wasn't a good showing. But the first game I got here is the Colts and the Jags. Now they're in London, so they're already on TV. So we really can't do this game because I think I'm watching it now. It's 23-13 Jags. 23-13. Right. And I actually, just real quick, I did have the Jags. I thought they'd be able to run the game. I actually like Chris Irie in this game, but it looks like TJ Yeldon is the one getting off right now. But, we'll just keep it moving from that game since that game is on. So, first game I got, bro, I got Cleveland and Washington. And it's a hard game to pick because they both stink. So
Washington has a lot more promise, but
right.
I mean, what's the spread? 7.5.
Yeah,
Washington. They got to win by 8.
Right. Yeah, it's 7.5. So I mean, the way I looked at it was, Terrell Pryor is the new Cordell Stewart, right? They put him everywhere on the field. They got him at quarterback, receiver, tight end, running back, wherever you name it, he's on the field. So Hugh Jackson is going to still try to move him on offense and get creative with him. But I mean, the tape is out, right? Washington at least has some film on what they do with Pryor and the things they can do with Pryor. The question is, can Cleveland's defense keep up with Washington's offense? In my head, and Joe Hayden looks like he might be out for this game as well. I don't like either one, so I actually took the under. The under is 45 and a half. I don't see offenses exploding in this game, even though, Kirk Cousins could have a really good game. Cue him for,
I think he will.
yeah, DraftKings and fantasy. Kirk Cousins is definitely to keep on the radar. He could easily throw for, 2 to 3 touchdowns and almost close to 300 yards in this game. Because, like you said, Washington has no run game. So I actually took the under on this one, buddy.
I don't know, man. Part of me, like Cleveland with the 7.5, but with Hayden and all of those guys,
Right.
Watch that. I mean, Cleveland got a lot of question marks. So
Right.
I'm gonna take Washington. I'll take Washington. I mean, if you can buy points to tease Cleveland up to, let's say, 10, 11, I say go with Cleveland. But if you can't and you got to, have Washington by 8.
Right.
We go Washington.
Solid. So the next game we got, the line changed a lot in this one. We got Buffalo and New England. The Patriots was keeping that QB situation kind of under wraps, but it did come out earlier today, and I did put on.
Wrestler's going to start.
Yeah, what's his name? Bresson?
Yeah, I think it's Bressel. Jacoby Brissett.
Oh, Brissett. That's right. You're right. You got it. Yeah, Brissett is going to start. A funny stat though about Buffalo when Tyrod Taylor rushes for over 30 yards, they're like 7-1 or some ridiculous stat. I was going Buffalo 7.5. It dropped to 3.5, and I think it already came out that Watkins might be out for the year because he's going to get a second foot surgery, even though he wasn't going to play this game anyway. If Garoppolo had played, I like New England, and I love Gronk in fantasy if Garoppolo played. But I'm gonna go Buffalo, bro. I know it doesn't seem like it's likely, but I don't think the kid's coming in with a bum hand, right? His throwing hand, he sprained his thumb or tore ligaments in his thumb or something. So
I'm gonna go Bill Belichick.
all right.
That's it. That's all they need right now. To be honest, I'm gonna go Bill Belichick.
I hear you, bro. There's nothing wrong with that pick. I know. I think Rex goes on a little run for some odd reason. So the next game we got is Seattle and the Jets. And everybody's saying how bad Fitzpatrick played last game with those 6 picks. Everybody keeps saying that it's not going to happen again. I think they're wrong. I love Seattle in this game. Decker's out. I think Rich Sherman's going to kill Marshall. That's going to be shut down. Even though they'll move Marshall around. Yeah, and he's banged up. The real question of the game is, can the Jets' offense kind of, their offensive line, can they stay up against Seattle's D-line? Because I know the Jets' D-line, because Seattle's offensive line is, banged up, and it's not like Russell Wilson is 100%. I love Seattle to win. I know it's a West Coast to East Coast type deal because it's in New York. I like Seattle, bro. Straight up.
I like Seattle too. I'm not even second guessing that. It was like a
1.5.
spread.
Yeah.
I don't know how banged up Russell Wilson is, but
Right.
I see the stat. Russell Wilson never missed a practice, let alone a game.
Yeah, he's got a sprained MCL, so it kills his mobility.
Yeah.
All
But
right,
yeah,
so
he can throw.
and yeah, and not even that. Jimmy Graham, there was a Jimmy Graham sighting last week. He had over 100 yards and a touchdown in the last game, and I don't think that's a fluke. To be honest with you, I think they finally found like everybody's banged up, and they forgot that they had Jimmy Graham, like they did last year. But he's not going to put up obviously New Orleans Saints numbers like he did, but I mean, he can exploit the middle of the field. I mean, he's a mismatch problem anywhere you put him on the field. So if they keep with that formula, I like Jimmy Graham to have another good game. He's real cheap in DraftKings too. So keep Jimmy Graham. So the next game we got is Carolina and Atlanta. Now Carolina's played two. What'd you
I
say?
actually like Atlanta.
Do you? I'm going the other
You,
way,
you,
bro.
you don't you don't hear me say it that much, but I like Atlanta, and their offense has really been surprising to me. They're the top scoring offense in the league, and Carolina struggled a little bit on defense against some of these mediocre teams. And Atlanta really almost they put out the blueprint on how to slow Carolina down last year when they beat them. Like they had pressure coming from different ways. They moved people around.
Right, right, right.
I mean, and it's it's a division game. So division
Yeah,
games
it's
are
gonna be
always
tough. Yeah.
better. Yeah. So I like Atlanta to win this game. I can't believe I'm saying it.
Yeah. I know, right? I can't believe you saying it either. You hate Atlanta. But I look at it like this: Carolina's played out of their 3 games. They played the top 2 defenses probably in the league, and in Denver and the Vikes. Benjamin had no catches for no yards last game. That doesn't happen again. And I think Carolina's linebackers can win some of those battles against Atlanta's running backs. I don't think Atlanta's running backs going to run wild again like they did last time. I don't think Carolina drops a 1-3. I just don't see that happening. So I'm going with the can man. Carolina. All right. So next game we got is Detroit and Chicago. Chicago is just terrible. Like
I like Detroit.
yeah. Like I, you know what? Like I'm not like it's just hard not to.
Yeah. And Detroit is putting up a lot of points too.
Right.
Their Stafford, he's been swinging that rock.
Yeah, he's balling.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm gonna have to add that as a money bet, man. Detroit is only -3. Stafford, I believe, is like he's thrown like 28 touchdowns to like 7 picks. Since last season, I think it's some stat like that floating around. It probably might be a high scoring game. Because was it Hoyer? I think it is who's starting for Chicago. He does have some type of experience throwing the ball. I don't have many money bets this week, but I should feel like I give one, and I love Detroit in this game, so lock me in, Detroit. So next game we got is Tennessee and Houston. Bum Bowl. Brock Osweiler hasn't lived up. J.J. Watt is out. But you know who I really like for them to get going and who showed flashes in the preseason is Clowney. Start moving him around like you do Watt. Start putting him in matchups that.
I was a big fan. I was a big fan of Conley.
Yeah, you were.
He just got a ton of injuries, man. He can never
Right,
stay
right.
But I'm a huge fan of Conley.
Right. So I like them to move him around a little bit. Houston still, even though Osweiler hasn't really lived up to the money. Houston still has an offense. They still have weapons. Mariota's been a turnover machine so far. I think he's got 6 turnovers. I like Houston, man.
Yeah, I got Houston down for the win as well. I mean, it's just Houston got a slew of talent on offense. They're really talented.
Right. So next game we got is Oakland and Baltimore. And the surprising, Baltimore is 3-0. I don't know how they're 3-0, to be honest with you. They don't put up any points. And I think Oakland puts up points. And that's the kind of theme for me in this game. I mean, Oakland's got a leaky secondary. You know, Mike Wallace might have a good game. I could see Mike Wallace having over 100 yards this game, to be honest, because they're going to have to score.
Wallace has been surprising, man. He's found his way back into, his groove. Like,
Right.
He's taking his role and ran with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm not sure because I mean Baltimore does have a pretty good defense, even though we don't know they don't have the players that we know of. Ed Reeds and the Ray Lewises, the Chris McAllisters. I think Suggs is still playing over there, right? Suggs ain't retired none. He's still going.
Suggs is over there.
Yeah, they got some young linebackers up and coming, but I don't really follow Baltimore, football to know their defense.
I like Baltimore.
You like Baltimore in this game?
I like CJ Mosley over there.
Yeah, that's right. They do have. I went Oakland, man. I like Oakland with the points.
Yeah, I like Baltimore. Baltimore, I mean, Joe Flacco, a lot of people don't give him a lot of credit, but he's a really good quarterback, very intelligent.
No, he is.
He wins. He knows how to win it.
No, he does.
They've been winning, and Oakland, I mean, they had some games where you think that they should win, but it just didn't happen. So I like Baltimore.
You like Baltimore? Solid.
Yeah.
So next one coming up, we got is Denver and Tampa.
Denver.
You already hear the music coming on. So for my second, money bet, it's definitely Denver. I think Winston had a tough game last game, and I don't think it stops. Their second, Denver secondary is probably the best in the league. Not probably, is the best in the league. And, I think Denver keeps pulling. Pulling with his name is Simeon, by the way, for all those from my last podcast. I think Simeon keeps winning, keeps throwing, and I like Denver straight up.
Yeah, me too.
I know. I was about to say you don't got nothing. Denver. So next game we got is those good old Cowboys and San Fran. This is my upset of the week. I got San Fran in this one, bro. No Dez. Even though I like Dak Prescott, he lacks explosion in the offense. It's all dink and dunk. And their defense really isn't much. I think Chris Hyde has maybe 2 touchdowns in his game. I like Chris Hyde in this game a lot. And I'm going with the home dog, bro. I'm going with San Fran +2.
Wow. This is a game it can go either way.
Right.
So,
It sounds like you got Dallas there, buddy.
huh?
I said it sounds like you got Dallas there, buddy.
What's the line again?
It's -2 Dallas. That's a shady line a little bit too.
Yeah. No Dash.
Money's going on Dallas though.
Yeah.
Money. It started off as a pick, and then the spread. About 60% of people are betting on the spread, and I'm the same thing. About 60%.
I like San Fran defense though. I like their defense a lot.
Well, I mean, if you think about Dallas's offense, it's simple. I mean, without Elliott, there's really no explosion, and Elliott hasn't exploded yet. Now, could he go off in this game? Absolutely, but he does. But he's doing it on the ground. They're not using him as the dynamic playmaker he is. They're not putting him in space. They're not putting him, on one-on-one situations that make guys miss. They're not, doing swing passes or nothing like that. They're using them like they did McFadden, just a straight up and down, runner. And I don't know. I just think it's a bad. I think it's a bad fit, to be honest with you. Everybody thought he was going to come in, including myself, with that offensive line and just go nuts. Like he really could run for 1,500 yards. It's still early in the season and he's still finding his niche, but they're running him straight forward. Like he's a downhill runner, and he can be, but I just think he's just more dynamic when he's in space, when he's on the move, and you give him kind of room to wiggle. Anyway, San Fran.
I'm gonna go with San Fran again, man. They let me down a couple times.
Yeah, they did.
I like the way Carlos Hyde is playing. I'm gonna take San Fran.
There you go, buddy. There you go, buddy. That's what I'm talking about.
Fingers crossed, but
I like San Fran in that game. I think they get it done. So next game we got is New Orleans and San Diego. And the funny story about this game, the kind of underlying theme of this game, this is the first time Drew Brees is going back to San Diego in 10 years, which I never knew. I never knew it's been that long since he's been back in San Diego. So I expect Brees to show up for this game. I know he's going to be hyped, to get back.
right.
But, it's not like Rivers ain't going to get up for this game, right? It's not like Rivers, doesn't get as fiery as soon as, competition shows up in his face. So there's no defense on the field, and San Diego's defense is actually better than the Saints' defense. I like San Diego. I think New Orleans is as bad as the record says.
I like San Diego, man, and I look for Phillip Rivers to have a really good game.
Right. Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. I like Rivers. I like Rivers in fantasy and DraftKings. He's actually cheap in DraftKings. I was like playing with it and looking at it. He's not. I think he's like maybe like 6th or 7th in like price wise on DraftKings. So I don't see why. I mean, who does New Orleans have? They're terrible. Like I just like everybody.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, word. So next game we got is LA, the Rams versus Arizona. How bad does Arizona need this game, bro? This needs to be a statement game for Arizona. They need to come out guns blazing, throwing it down the field, and getting it done. But here's the funny thing, bro. Here's the funny thing about this game. I just don't believe it. Yeah, it's did it go up to 9.5? I thought it was 8.
Last time I saw.
Let me check.
I saw that 9.5.
Yeah, you're right. It did go up. It went up even more. It went up 9.5. So with that being said, I love Todd Gurley in this game. I think Todd Gurley has a big game this game. I think this is his coming out party. I think he keeps Arizona's offense off the field. And now don't get it wrong. Arizona can easily win this game by 20 points. Say that again.
So do you think so against their defense?
What defense? Who? Arizona's defense? Yeah. What has Arizona's defense done this year so far? They're 1-2, bro. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. Like they got a lot of players on paper, absolutely, but they give up a lot of yards rushing.
I mean, yeah, McCoy had a good game, but I think with Buffalo is different because you still got Taylor to look out for. Case Keenum, who is like? I don't think nobody respects him.
No, they don't, and that's why I like the Rams to cover, and especially if it's going to be by almost 10, it's got to be by 10 points. I don't think the Rams win the game, but there's something wrong with Carson Palmer. Everybody thought Palmer was going to come back.
He's the key right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I like the Rams to cover. Now that it's 9.5, I love the Rams to cover. I don't think they won the game, but I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I don't think Arizona's got to prove to me that they can come out and make a statement, and they haven't done that yet. They're 1-2 right now, and going in, and if they win this game and be 2-2, that's still not a good look for them in the first 4 games. They should be 3-1 or 4-0 easily. They're considered one of the best, if not the best team and complete team in the whole NFL, and they're 1-2. So, and they burned me twice on my money. So,
That's what it is. That's what it is.
so I'm going the opposite way because everybody's going to be betting Arizona. You know what I mean? Yeah, I hear you. There's nothing wrong with that pick. I mean, they should win by like 30. But I think there's something wrong with Palmer, to be honest with you. He's not doing it like he did last year. So, I'm going the other way. All right. Next game, we got KC versus Pittsburgh. I should play some easy music, some ego music when we talk about any team in PA. You know what I mean? Because that's who's the premier team right now.
We just stumped the mud hole in them guys.
Yeah, we did.
But I think they come back and they make a statement.
Yes.
Looks back.
Yes, I completely agree. I believe that they're home. This is their statement game. You know, I mean, KC's only scored 1 offensive touchdown in the last 8 quarters. You know, and then Pittsburgh got blanked too for the first time in a long time. So that's not saying much in the stat. But KC has, didn't face.
Let's look at it this way.
Right.
I'm gonna look at it on the flip side. Andy Reid and Doug Peterson kind of run the same kind of offense.
Yeah, I've heard people say that.
Do Andy Reid look at what worked last week and
right.
spin on it? Yeah, I mean Jamal Charles is back for the first time.
Yeah, but I don't think he's starting. I think they're gonna bring him along slowly.
I mean, with him, I guess it depends on how he play. If he come back and he get his carries and he's showing, Jamal Charles' ability, then there's no way you take him out.
No, you're absolutely right on that one, bro. So
I mean, it's a great asset to have back on your team.
Right.
He's a great player.
Absolutely.
So I mean, they'll utilize on the back by committee, if need be. But I like Pittsburgh, but it's one of those games that's just like, dang, how could this go? This could go either way.
I don't think so. I love Pittsburgh in this game.
We got a fight at New England and Buffalo right now.
Yeah, I saw that. I just saw that on TV. I kind of had to pause. I was like, what was that? It's just like some boy just went over and punched somebody.
And then the whole Buffalo team came over.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Nice little heated game. That's a division rival.
Yeah. And you know, Rex Ryan can't stand Bill Belichick because he always beats him. So, Monday night game, man. This is a tough one. The Giants in Minnesota.
Give me Minnesota all day.
Minnesota all day. I mean, you ain't locked no picks in last week. Is this a lock pick for you? What's up with you?
Let me go back. Let me see. And I didn't have no lock picks.
Yeah, you didn't have any lock picks last week. But this one, while you looking for that, I think Minnesota is definitely for real. New York, is going to have to pass, obviously, because they have no run game. And, when Eli's back is against the wall, he usually shows up. It should be a good matchup. New York's receivers versus Minnesota's cornerbacks. New York's D-line versus Minnesota's offensive line. Sam is playing well, so you can't take that away from him.
Oh, yeah. My lock is Denver, man.
Oh, your lock was Denver? Okay. I'll mark that down.
Yeah, I'm going to lock that one in.
Okay.
They got one by 4, so
yeah.
I don't see that being a problem.
And then I got but I'm going with the better team. I think Minnesota wins.
Okay.
So just a review before we close out the show here. For fantasy, I got Rivers and Cousins. Possibly 3 touchdowns, 300 yards from the both of them. I got Carlos Hyde, 2 touchdowns and probably over 100 yards. I actually like Theo Riddick as well. I think he has 1 touchdown on over 100 yards all-purpose. I did have Chris Ivory for this game, but obviously that was a miss. I liked him in DraftKings because he was cheap. And a young boy, I think his name's Jordan Howard from Chicago. I think he,
Yeah, I like him too.
yeah,
I got him.
I think he blows up this game. He's got he has over 150 yards all purpose. So check him out on DraftKings. I like Travis Benjamin from San Diego. You know, like 7 catches, 80 yards, 1 or 2 touchdowns. I like Mike Wallace to have a similar stat line, maybe 6 catches, 100 yards, and 1 touchdown. And if Garoppolo was playing, I love Gronk, but he's not playing, so you got to play Gronk because it's Gronk. But I think his numbers are pedestrian. And I like Jimmy Graham. I don't think it was a fluke. And my defenses are Seattle and Denver's defense. So just a small review of some of the fantasy picks and DraftKings picks. You know, hopefully this week is a.
Let me see who I got.
Go ahead.
I got Matt Stafford.
Good pick.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah, Kirk Cousins is my quarterback.
Good pick.
I like Mike Thomas from New Orleans.
Okay.
Marvin Jones.
Okay.
And Kevin White. He's pretty surprising. He had 27 targets over the last few games. So he gets a lot of targets. And,
From Chicago, the receiver.
Yeah, from Chicago.
Yeah. He doesn't look as explosive as his numbers say when I watch him play. He's still learning, as they were saying.
Oh yeah, he is. He's definitely still learning.
Right.
And I also like Travis Benjamin.
Yeah, I like Travis Benjamin too today.
Yeah, running backs. I'm gonna go with Jordan Howard.
Okay.
Especially with Langford being hurt.
Yep. And the other boy, I think his name's Carney or
with the Browns. But,
who?
The Crowell.
Oh, okay.
Crowell,
Yeah. For the Browns, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Right, the Redskins defense thing.
Yeah, they do.
And DeMarco Murray, I like him this week.
Yeah, he's been a beast this year.
Yeah, tight ends are like Kobe Fleener and Kyle Rudolph.
You like Fleener to keep it going?
Say that again?
I said you like Fleener to keep it going?
Yeah. I think they found something with him. Like they started,
Starting to see how to use him?
A little better.
Yeah, I feel you. I don't think so, but I feel you.
And Sam Bradford likes Kyle Rudolph.
Yeah, he does. He's always like good tight ends. So.
Yeah. And my defensive, I like the Vikings defense. If you can get the Vikings defense for a good price, and I think that's it.
Solid picks. So I want to thank everybody for listening to the MoneyPot podcast. Continue on to go on the website www.moneypotpodcast.com. Check us out, our blogs, our picks. We always keep. I got to update actually our records on our best picks and fantasy. Didn't have a good showing last week, but hopefully today shows greener pastures, and I think it will. Steve, I like a lot of your picks. I like a lot of your fantasy picks, and I'm confident in mine as well. So until we meet again next week, it's your homie, Moss, Money, and the homie, Steve-O, Headbanger, out here.
Yeah, man. Everybody have a safe Sunday, man. Enjoy. Kick your feet up and watch some football.
Absolutely. Make sure you grab yourself a cold one.
Or two.